Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Next Gen 720, and I'm here with my two brothers right now. Maybe they can talk some sense into me. Once again, let me hit this one. I don't want off on the deep end. Um, guys, as you're coming in, you'd be so kind to hit the like button. Let me mute myself in the back. I'm gonna try to make this video as less problematic as possible. You know what I mean? Because I need answers, man. I said I need answers. Sway. You know what I mean? We had Dice had the summit yesterday, 2018. Phil Spencer was the keynote speaker. I spoke for about an hour, literally about an hour, maybe a little more. You know what I mean? He had the floor to himself. And this man spoke more about PlayStation and Nintendo than he did the Xbox. But we're going to talk about that in a second. I got my little bro with me who's out here blazing these YouTube streets. My little brother, Nethus. What's going on with you, Nethus?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Glad to be here, and we're gonna really talk about what just happened on the Dice Awards.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
All right. Hey, listen. I got one of Phil Spencer's biggest supporters here, my man. Post up with the close up, aka Uncle Ruckus when it comes to Microsoft shit. What's going on, Post?
I'm good. What's good, people? Post up. Let's talk about it. I'm just gonna probably try to be as objective as possible, based on the information I just read. So
yeah,
let's get it.
Oh man. Guys, do me a favor, man. First let me go start right here. We start from the titty top, man. You know what I mean? I know you guys was waiting. Shout out to my brother LG the gamer. He just got down with the broadband bullies. I'm gonna try to talk to you after the show. My man Gunny FPS, Crown Worthy, J Farrow, L the Ace. Like I said, drop Unchained. What's going on, good brother? XP Gamer Ghost. Do me a favor, like I said, as you guys come in, please can you hit the like button? YouTube got your boy in the headlock right now. So as you come in, if you think the video was dog, just hit the like button. Whether you think it's the best, most entertaining you've ever seen in your life, hit the like button. You know what I mean? Share it out, put it on Twitter. We're gonna have a decent conversation here today. You know what I mean? Now I haven't been drinking. I don't think. No, I haven't been. I don't drink. I mean, it might hit a little, little wacky tobacco now and then. But I mean, hold up, man. This is as strong as I'm gonna drink today. Is this Red Bull? Now, yesterday, Puerto Rock hit me up. He said, "Next Gen, can you do the 60 frames no lag show with me yesterday?" I said, "Yeah, I had no problem. I do the dog shit show with you. Not a problem, right?" Now I'm gonna tell you something. Puerto Rock claims to be I'm the only friend that he's my only friend that I have here on his YouTube streets. You know what I mean? So I said right away, who's gonna be in the panel with us? He said, Craig the Crackhead Harris and Jabari with the lips. You know what I mean? Down Dallas G. Good show yesterday, man. You know what I mean? No problem, right? So I knew that Puerto Rock may have had an angle. You know what I mean? So I knew the thing was coming. Now, for those who may not know, Pose, what is Dice about? What's this Dice Summit about?
The Dice Summit is pretty much just well, it stands for Design, Innovate, Communicate, and Entertainment. So pretty much is a annual summit, multi-day gathering of pretty much game executives. It's held in Las Vegas. It was established in 2002 by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Science. And then I guess they have someone hosting every year. So where they get together, talk about game design, arts, programming, operation, audio management, and all that different stuff. They network and things like that. So it's more so for the business side, business and production side of things.
It's a developers conference, right?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
More or less, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So, anyway, unbeknownst, I didn't know that Phil Spencer was the keynote speaker, right? Didn't know.
Me. Here we go.
So, I said, cool. You know what I mean? I seen a few people covering it, so I said, let me go check it out. Because again, they were ragging on Phil for not talking about the Xbox as much or whatever the case during yesterday's 60 frame no lag podcast. But like I said, YouTube is for entertainment. Nah, I know Phil ain't go up there and do it like that, right? You know what I mean? We talking about free advertising, free promotion. You got an hour on the stage by yourself. You know what I mean? Always talking about the Xbox ain't got no games. You can show something, a thumbnail, a clip there was something, right? So I said, nah, bro, I watched the video, man. I watched it. literally dozed off. I nodded off. I mean, woke up. I said, because I missed something, right? Watched it again. I'm like, no, I ain't missed shit. This motherfucker spent more time talking about Sony and Nintendo than he did the actual goddamn the Xbox. You know what I mean? Now listen, like Jabari said, I spent $1,000, G. I spent $1,000 with Microsoft and over $1,000. Even within a year, between 2016, 2017, I spent over $1,000 just on hardware alone. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say this again to you guys, you know, and I want to get his opinion. As you guys come in, please hit the like button, please. That Phil, I'm gonna say business is not a noble, a gentleman's sport. Business is low down, dirty, scratch and pull your eyes out, spit in your opponent's face. It is, and Phil does not get this right. He spent an hour on stage talking about the console war and how it's so goddamn toxic. And everyone, how we shall overcome. This literally what he did on stage for an hour. You got this brand new goddamn console out, right? When was the last time Microsoft has even won an NPD? Look, literally. You got this. Listen, you in my pocket now. I have to pay this man $60, right? Right. But they just listen, man. Phil does not care about winning. He doesn't. And I said that is a problem. How can I be as a fan? I don't have any money invested, but care about them winning more than they actually do themselves. And that is an issue. He's spending more time talking about Sony and Nintendo and how great those platforms were. I can't listen, Nethus. Like, am I over exaggerating? Am I say bugging the fuck out? You did, Nethus?
You know, you really aren't, because it's ridiculous how he starts off like, oh, he talks about Halo, good, but then he talks about Mario, interesting, and then he ends it off with Uncharted. That's like your competition's biggest game. I don't think it's a good idea to talk about your competition in good light like that, because no matter what, you're always competing. No matter every time you're on a big stage, you're always competing. And it makes you look weak if one of the biggest games you talk about is your competitor's exclusive. Like, that doesn't show strong leadership to me. That shows that you're not confident in your product that you're making us buy.
Man, hey, listen, I'm gonna let Post start. I just want to say this at the end of the day, right? I understand. I said, well, what do you think, Phil? He's the leader of a multi-million-dollar company. He's not going to involve us. Listen, let's talk about this console war thing, because some of you guys may have amnesia or a selective amnesia, right? Let me tell you something, right? I'm 40 years young, right? I just turned 40, thank God, February 8th, right? Just turned 40, right? Me coming up on the playground, it was always Mario versus Sonic, right? Well, before that, before I even had my own console, I remember my two older cousins arguing about what was better, the Atari 5600 or the ColecoVision, right? Literally, you know what I mean? That's just the nature of man. I don't care if you leave this place right here and you go to a video here on YouTube where they're comparing the Samsung KS9000 to the Sony Xbox. You're going to see fanboys in there going back and forth, arguing about, because that's just the nature of man, when they thump their chest and validate their purchase. Check this shit out, right? If you go to a Mercedes or to a car forum, you're going to have the guys from Mercedes and BMW arguing about who has the best car, or Lexus versus, Infinity. That's what it is. It's never going anywhere. And that's not them being realistic, okay? You got to realize this again. I'm going to say this again, because a lot of you guys, again, have selective amnesia. It was Sony that went out there and said that 1080p makes you a better gamer. We're not talking somebody with a dog shit channel such as myself, with, with 2 subscribers. We're talking somebody who's getting a 6-figure salary, went out there and said that, Yoshida, that 1080p makes you a better gamer. And all is, listen, I'm saying last time I won't post a chime in this, right? That I can see if those comments and everything was being reciprocated, and Nintendo and Sony were saying nice things about Microsoft. But they're not. No one labeled you the goddamn Dalai Lama, Phil. No. So when all you guys was excited, guess what? Phil doesn't have a boss anymore now. Phil doesn't have a boss. He can just go out there, and it tells. He's out there reading off the goddamn script like Donald J. Trump. Enough is enough with this shit here. It's disgusting. I meant go through the holiday season. I can't wait to go home and play my Nintendo Switch. Hey, now listen, no, Post. I know you've been very sympathetic of Microsoft and their woes and their plights. Maybe you think, you know what, next year you're just a character. I'm over embellishing. Like, talk to me. Look, what do you think? I hit an hour by itself, and you talk more about the competition than his own platform. Talk to me. Am I bugging?
You bugging. Both of y'all bugging.
Oh.
I kind of like what Phil did and what he admitted. If we're going to talk about this, we have to separate the D.I.C.E Summit from GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference, and from E3. E3 is where games get announced. Game Developer Conference is where the technology behind those games and how they're created get talked about and shared. You even get some probably hints of game announcements there. But if you look at the D.I.C.E Summit, it's for executives of these companies where they come together. And so what he was talking about as far as the business aspect, that Microsoft as a whole needed a reboot. And this is something that we wanted to hear, because he's saying internally they needed to diversify their culture in order to move forward. And he used games like Uncharted and The Last of Us, which games and storylines have effect on real world issues. This is the type of conversation that we want, because we harp on Phil a lot of times in terms of not having more adult games and things like that. So what he was talking about in this thing is saying, hey, Microsoft internally needed to change. We needed to switch up everything. We needed to diversify our culture in terms of the people we hire, in terms of the studios, not only from a gaming perspective. He even talked about all the trends they missed. If you go back to the cell phones and the iPods and things like that. So he's saying that in order for us to impact and to get these big, huge, epic stories and things like that that can impact people and drive conversation from a real world perspective, Microsoft needs to change. And that's what we want to hear. The D.I.C.E Summit is not a place where you're going to announce games. I don't know of any D.I.C.E Summit in the past where a game was announced there. This is talking about, this whole conversation is for executives of other studios and publishing company.
Post.
Yeah.
One thing.
Listen,
I've met. When did our relationship? When was the relationship between us? How long have I known?
Okay.
Man.
Hey, here we go. Come on.
How long have I known you?
Look,
well, the reason why I said it, because I haven't known you long, but I do consider you like a brother to me, right?
Yeah.
Would you concur? You know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely family, bro.
All right. With that being said, right? No, and again, two things. You do know, this is a drug-free show, right?
Yeah.
And I would hate to question your integrity, right?
Yeah.
Now, the reason why the reason why I say these things, I'm asking you this, right? You said at GDC, I'm sorry, at D.I.C.E, this is where they talk about the new engines and stuff, right?
Well,
and the technology, right?
No, that's at GDC. Like I said, D.I.C.E Summit is with the executives, and that's why he was talking about the internal culture of studios and things like that.
Okay, fine. Even if it was about the executives, fine. And but this was a publicized event.
Yeah,
all the cameras were there.
Okay, come on, let's talk about it, Z.
Hold up, Z. Before you kill my man, Post up here. He's my brother, so I gotta get in.
I'm not dying today. All
right. I don't know, man. Z's gaming his gun, but what I'm gonna say, Post up, is you're absolutely right. Phil and team, they need to change their culture at Microsoft. They need to do all that stuff, but instead of using, your biggest competitor in their biggest game, you probably could have used a multiplier to do something very similar and not make yourself look so weak. And two, yeah, Microsoft needs to change their culture. Microsoft's doing much better. But Post-up, can you answer this question for me? Is Xbox doing better? from right now compared to the 360 age, is Xbox doing better? Are they more mainstream? Are they more successful? Are they more relevant? Because right now, I just see PlayStation. Right now, PlayStation is always in the news. And right now, instead of holding a 360 controller in their hand, they're holding a hands.
You know what? Hey, neither you a bad boy. You cut that man over both of his goddamn eyes out there.
Man, he ain't did nothing, man.
Hey, listen,
he
man.
swung and missed.
Hey, listen. You asking? Listen. Now, listen. It goes back to what I said. Under Phil, right? People say what they want about Donnie D. Damn, this goddamn crystals. This camera's sharp. You say what you want about Donnie D, right? And I'm gonna say this again. Under Phil, we've lost true Xbox exclusives, right? We can concur on that, right? Our marketing, our marketing has been shit. You know what I mean? And we're also getting that too. I don't think there's been a time in the history of gaming that when your competitor releases brand new hardware, a brand new console, and they have yet to win a fucking MPD.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm gonna quote Phil.
Nigga, do tell.
From this speech, and this should tell you what he says. In order for us to do our best work, we need our work environment to function well. If the core mechanics of our own team and our own internal cultures are broken, everything stumbles. You can't knock that man for realizing and recognizing that from an internal perspective in regards to the studio, that they need some rearranging and changing to put out the work that we're asking for. It's nothing wrong with that, bro. And the Xbox, despite Xbox not winning this console war, does not negate the fact that it's still a mainstream device. Just because it's not winning, don't make it less. It's not winning the console war, but it's still a mainstream device. Everybody knows what Xbox is.
Okay.
Whether they're playing it or not is the question more so than the competition, but it's still a mainstream device.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Post Up. True or false? True or false, Post Up? Did Xbox lose a lot of market share this generation alone?
Yeah, they lost quite a bit of market share if you comparing it to what they had in the 360 era. But this is the first time they've been in this position since coming into the industry with the initial OG Xbox. So it's going to be growing pains. Sony went through their growing pains. Microsoft in 2017 had growing pains. Will they learn from this speech that Phil gave at the D.I.C.E Summit? Meaning that from the top down, they needed change. So when the delegate came in,
I gotta give you mad respect there, Post Up. Gotta give you mad respect. You're doing a good job here, man. You're really turning my shit around.
I'm just being honest.
But let me just say this, man. Do actions speak louder than words?
Yes.
Because how many times do we see a competitive company doing something Microsoft probably could have done and would have helped their brand more? I mean, just the other day on our Beast Fire podcast, did you not damage control Microsoft missing that opportunity with THQ?
I did not.
And acquiring Coke Media.
I did not damage control. I question whether
and I'm gonna pull a quote from Zaire himself.
I question whether that purchase would have helped him or not.
And I would hate to question your integrity.
Okay, go ahead, player.
You were telling me and being upset that every time something big happens, every time purchase happened, you're like, why does everyone turn to Microsoft and say, Microsoft, why didn't you do this? Mm-hmm. And you guys, and this includes my boy Maslin, were acting like this was some sort of $1 billion investment. This is $150 million. This is literally nothing, a tax write-off, as Z would say. Mm-hmm. You could have had those studios. You could have been innovating, creating, as Phil said, new worlds, because apparently he thinks the pixel's mightier than the pen. Mm-hmm. So, Post Up, as I said, actions speak louder than words. Phil Spencer might be saying all this cool stuff, but is he really doing anything?
Well, before you answer that, right? You said one thing there. You said that it's a mainstream device, right, Post?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody know what the Xbox is, right?
Yep.
Okay, fine. All right. Now listen. sometimes you got to take your brother out in the yard and just beat the shit out of him right quick. Now, so this is tough love right here, Post. Right? We will all agree and concur that the Wii U was an absolute failure, right? We can agree on that. The Wii U. All right. The Wii U got its goddamn teeth kicked in. It got stomped out by even in the PS3 and the 360, right? Because that was an 8th generation console. And then, of course, the X came out and the PS4. It is what it is, right? You didn't have goddamn Iwata and Reggie teasing me out that motherfucker still talking about something, it's good for gaming, and you don't think that, that its software should be tied to one other, platform, DLC. You didn't have them out there saying that, right? They still were just as brash, still just as cocky. What did Reggie say about the PS4 Pro and the Xbox? We don't see them release a competition. Nintendo, they just let them fight it over the barrel of the Gigabyte. We have the best console hands down, and still out there talking that shit. Like I said, you can say what you want about Donnie D, right? But that was he was a true businessman, right? And I'm gonna say this again. Every year we get this motherfucker Pepe Le Pew. I'm the barber of Seville. Speech from goddamn Phil. Every goddamn all these events, all he does is talk, right? He's not good at business. He's not. Plain and fucking simple. All right. I'll give you an example, right? Because the people always say, say that. And people say, you know what? Well, that came from under Donnie D, right? Everyone said that was, Phil saved the Xbox. Even had D.I.C.E argument, but down there, Phil gave us the X, even though the X has been proven it came from Donnie D, right? Told you, motherfuckers, this right. And shout out my brother Brian, aka Devil Dog. He said he said put that crack pipe down, post you bugging, right? Marking his dog shit, right? But I said to say this, right? Under Phil, I'm asking you and all you guys, what has he done to make you sing his praise? He's been the boss now for how many years? 4 years now? What in 4 years? What game you said? Whoa, wait, goddamn, thanks, Phil. This shit off the hook. What goddamn game? Name me one. Under Phil, we got Voodoo Vince. Fucking under Phil, we got dog shit Recall. Under Phil, we got fucking Phantom Dust and the original fucking Access. He's been here for 4 years.
Okay.
You forgot that Disneyland.
So this is what we finna do. We finna grab the littlest knife out of jaw and cut this little bullshit out that you and Nithus is talking about. Because it's 2 versus 1, and I'm finna kill both y'all. We ain't finna do this today. We're not about to do this today. First of all, Phil Spencer hasn't been the boss for over 4 years because he's been answering to a boss, Terry Myerson, for the last Xbox 4 years. Come on, hold on. Okay, he's now just became the boss of the gaming division, which includes Xbox and Windows. So let's talk about it.
Semantics now, Post.
If we go, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Bill with the boss.
Let's look at Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation. Both of them, all 3 companies had an opportunity for that deal that THQ Nordic. Why Nintendo didn't jump on it? Since you say Nintendo need third-party games and the more adult games like Metro and things like that, why they didn't spend that $150 million?
Oh well,
they making good. They making good money.
You don't allow me to answer those questions for you?
Come on, go ahead. Let's go.
First of all, probably those games most likely wouldn't ran on the Switch. Secondly, they already have a shitload of exclusives. Sony already has a shitload of exclusives.
Exactly.
We're not talking about exclusive. We're talking about the type of games. We're talking about the type of games that you say prevent you from buying the Switch. And I don't want to hear about that. The game can't run on the Switch. If they would have brought those IPs, you could put any developers behind those IPs and make and develop them to where they can run on the Switch. I don't want to hear that. I'm not talking about if they Switch doesn't have shooters like Metro and all those type of stuff. Why Nintendo didn't jump on it? Why Sony didn't jump on it?
Hey, bro,
you know what I'm saying?
They already got games.
Okay, Microsoft got games too. And I take this for instance. The same thing. You always hop on Rare. Microsoft purchased Rare for $300 million off the BIM and ain't done nothing with them.
Nope.
Huh? So they're gonna spend 150 million on 15 IPs that a lot of it was trash. You only had about 3 or 4 IPs that in there that most people actually knew about, and you expect them to spend 150 million on that?
Okay, that's your question.
Look, no, man, I gotta get on you for that one. Okay, you're acting like Microsoft.
Hit the like button.
You're acting like Microsoft is in the same position as Sony and Nintendo. First of all, Sony and Nintendo have their audience. They have studios. They have exclusives. Microsoft, what have they put out for you? Post up? Have they given you a new Halo-like game? No, they gave you ReCore. Okay? Let's be honest, bro. Microsoft's hurting for games. Metro. Imagine if that wasn't exclusive to the Xbox platform. Imagine if you were able to put that in your Game Pass service, which you just launched. As I said on Beastfire, if you have a Netflix type service, you're going to have to act like Netflix, and you're going to have to be out there buying original content. You can't be yelling at people saying like, "Oh man, that's some bullshit." You know how much bullshit's on fucking Netflix? At the end of the day, you're going to have filler content, yes, and you don't know if that filler will become a hit. Did Netflix know Stranger Things will come out and be a hit? No.
Hold on.
You have to invest.
First of all, this notion that Microsoft doesn't have IPs is trash. It's wrong. They have a lot of IPs. They have a lot of IPs. Hold on. They have a lot of IPs. Whether they are doing something with those IPs is another question. So neither don't come with me with this. Microsoft is lacking for IPs. They have IPs. They have the Perfect Dodge. They have the Banjo-Kazooie. They have the Mecha Salt. They have the Crimson. They have the Crimson Skies.
How do you make a game post up?
They have the Crimson. Hold on. You said Microsoft was hurting for IPs.
I also said they were hurting for studios. You don't have the manpower to make all these games. It's not going to come overnight. At the end of the day, you have one of your biggest games, Crackdown, being made by second-party devs. Do you want another Scalebound? Is that what we want?
Well, Scalebound? What question is that? What question is that? What do you know about Scalebound from a development standpoint?
Was made by a second-party dev.
Okay, and what type of condition was that game in? Because we always want to point to Scalebound as if we know what type of condition the game was in, as if we know it was going to be an instant hit, as if we know it was going to be a classic game. The concept of that game is what got people drawn to that game. But us actually knowing if the gameplay was going to be something that we was going to enjoy, it was questionable because we never got our hands on it. So we need to stop using the Scalebound as a scapegoat in these conversations.
When I mentioned Scalebound, did I say any of that? I said the game was made by second-party devs, and we never got it, and that's part of a problem. Microsoft doesn't have studios to make all these games we want. You can have all the IP in your backlog, but if you don't got the people to make it, it's a problem. And 150 million? What is that? That's
not having the studios is subjective because it's two ways you can look at this in the because it's two ways you can look at this in the culture that we're in as look, Microsoft can do two things. And it depends on how they choose to use their money. They can say, hey, we can go buy more studios, which since Phil has been put in place, it seems like they're going to do now because under Terry Myerson, he wasn't going to allow them to do that. In the past, they downsized it in regards to the development studios. They had a lot of studios. They chopped them all and start outsourcing everything. That probably was something that wasn't under Phil's control, given the position that he was in. Now that he's over the whole gaming division, he can say, hey, now, look, we need to start investing in internal studios, which they're doing now, which the information has came out and said, hey, we finna start building our internal studios, which in this summit speech that he was talking about adds to that too. So we can't blame Phil for something that was out of his control. Now moving forward, since he's overseeing the whole game division, anything that comes to fruition and don't come to fruition from here on out, we can blame him for. But since he was the boss that had the answer to the boss, you can't blame him for that.
Wait. So for 150 million, you said you wouldn't have had a good start with multiple IP and multiple studios. You're telling me you could have had a first-party studio that could start developing one of your bigger franchises, or we want to make into a bigger franchise with Crackdown. You're telling me you can have all those games in your Game Pass service that's exclusives?
With that deal, what they brought with the $150 million, they had 3 internal studios and 8 external studios. All right, 3 internal studios and 8 external studios. 15 IPs. The main IPs, the games was so trash. Majority of some of that was mobile too.
The only games are trash. Who are you to say the games are trash, though?
Because
that's up to opinion.
You know what? Because the only games that you understand or recited from that deal was Metro. What's the other one? What's the other one? Dead Island and Saints Row. Okay. Them only titles.
Those are 3 big games,
right? And you excluded all the other titles. What Microsoft benefit from purchasing that?
Look, bro, when they bought Rare, how much bullshit did they get with Rare? And they spent twice the much.
They spent $350 million.
Like at the end of the day, you want those big IPs.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
So Metro could have been exclusive, and you know what? I'm gonna tag in Z. He's ready.
Are you ready for me now?
Hey, come on, man! You addictors, man, y'all.
Nah, hey, yo, Brian. I just said
I'm boxing right now.
Brian said he's gonna come in and knock the shit out you right quick. Go back to work.
Man, Brian better go sit his ass down somewhere, man.
But listen, check it out, right? We're all jokes aside, right now, and real talk, right now. I understand that Phil had a balls, just like what's his name? Tony Myerson. What's his name? Is it right?
Yeah, Terry Myerson. Yeah.
Unless you're signing an adult, which he has a boss, so they have a board of directors. Everyone has a boss, okay? So him not being able to do his job because he had a boss. Let me say something. When people say things like that, they act like Phil was the janitor in Microsoft. He's always had a high level position when they're over there in the Xbox division, okay? And it's like and that his word is weight, says some wholesome weight. The fact that how do you think Fable Legends? I keep going back to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, Phil had Shannon Loftus-Cheek more or less a little higher, and it was Phil's job to go out there and cultivate the talent of the games and go back to Donnie D. And Donnie D, hey, I like to piss out there to Donnie D. Donnie D cuts the checks. The games get green lighted to get made. Okay. Now with that being said, so I'm just saying. Phil has been the head of the Xbox division, okay? Not all over the whole of gaming, because the whole of gaming from Microsoft also includes mobile, and also includes Windows, okay? Now he's the boss out of all that. Cool, right? He got two more divisions under him. Now he got the cell phone division, and he has the
Windows division. The Windows gaming division, yeah. So
not a problem. Okay. So Phil took over in spring of 2014, right? We can all concur in that round, right around time the Titanfall release. That's when Phil took over, right?
Yeah, the Xbox. He took over Xbox. Yeah.
All I'm saying, so this, and what year is this? It's going on. He took over. It's going on 4 years, Phil. Somebody might. Who's this? Devil Dog.
I'm here.
All right, 1 second. Let me turn you down. I'll tag you in 1 second. Give me 1 second, all right? All right, so he's been the boss of the Xbox division at least going on 4 years. You know what I mean? And so I say to this, and I'm saying to you, Post, real talk. What has Phil given us, exclusive wise, that they have anyone? Because listen, forget all the policies. It all, like I said, still comes down to games and gaming, right? What has he given us? Because everything that guys, how you say, now we make fun of Sony fans for having a list of games. All the same list of games that Xbox guys go around and throw around, all those lists came from Donnie D. All those games came from Donnie D. So just forget, like I said, forget all the policies, forget all the other shit, right? The weird shit that came out this generation, Play Anywhere and this, that, forget all that. What game? Because the games when he was on his own, because Donnie D, if I'm not mistaken, would have cut the Xbox division $1 billion for exclusives, right? Mm-hmm. Once those titles ran out, we saw what we got under Phil. Phil ain't had Donnie D ain't had nothing to do with that Phantom Dust and original assets. He ain't had shit to do with that motherfucking Lucky Tales. He ain't shit to do with that Voodoo Vince. He ain't had that's all that Zoo Tycoon. All that shit came from Phil.
Look,
now,
man.
I say that to say this. What has this man done to have you guys with so much faith? And yet y'all look at me like I got 3 eyeballs.
It's not so much about faith. you look at this headline. Look at this headline. This headline states that Phil Spencer says Microsoft needed a reboot, meaning that even with Phil taking over in 2014, they were still going through change and transition internally, because I think around 2015, 2016, he went from taking over Xbox to Xbox being moved under the Windows division, which he was moved under Terry Myerson. So even coming from the Donnie D era, it was still a lot of transitions going on. I think right now, with Nadella coming in and solidifying him as the head of all gaming operations at Microsoft, is probably the stablest they have ever been in regards to that culture. If he's sitting on stage saying Microsoft needed a reboot, that means they had to change. They needed to change. Things wasn't working. People getting swapped in and swapped out. Divisions getting moved under divisions and then away from them and things like that. That means it wasn't stability going on, and that shows in the product that we haven't been getting. Now, I can encourage you that we haven't, over the last couple years, we haven't really been getting explosive titles. Only the consistent titles with Halo, Gears, and Forza and things like that. It's nothing out of those. And I've said many times on this platform that Microsoft needs to find that next defining title. I agree with you, but like he said, if we're not right internally, nothing like that can ever take effect. We won't be able to give our customers that if we're not right from an internal perspective. And that's why he stood on stage and said, hey, we needed the reboot. You can't knock that man for that. They're saying that internally they want right to give their game.
Get off your soapbox.
The software that they need, player. What are you talking about? Man, what a church music. What take that guy? I need some church music.
Get out of here. Get out of here, post up. Stop it.
What you got to say, Brett? What you got to say to him?
How is it D.I.C.E got more accomplished than damn Phil Spencer, and he was in the same position? He spoke to a boss. He didn't get a promotion like Phil Spencer did, and he is the head honcho, and he still got more accomplished than Phil Spencer. Try again.
Well, that's a good question.
What a different regime.
Try again, Brett. Nah, Brett.
Hey, yo, that's a good question. And thank you, Brian. That's a good question. Listen, and even in the chat, who has gotten more accomplished on the Xbox platform? The Xbox One, I'm talking about. I ain't talking about 360 original. More accomplished, all right? Phil, listen, mind you, D was only there for like 6 months. His 6 months versus Phil 4 years. Let's talk about that, Post.
Come on, brother.
Look, let me tell you something. Look, we're different times. He's trying to compare last generation to current generation. Hold on. He's trying to compare. Hold on. No.
So
he's trying to compare last generation.
No, I'm not.
The current generation. You had two different. You had two different. You have two different. First of all, you have two different regimes, right? And when the Xbox One was launched, Phil was not in control of that. It was the same person that you giving praise to Donnie D. It was Donnie D. So and he cleaning up his mess, right? He's cleaning up his mess, right?
Let me
clean up his mess. What mess when he gave us the X1X? And all y'all were saying for the longest, no, Phil Spencer gave us this, and he did not. There's proof.
Yeah, I know.
I know that proof. I brought that
this gen too, bruh.
I know that's proof. I brought that proof. And Donnie D didn't give you that. He green lighted it. But it was what's the name who came to them with the concept and idea. He green lighted that. I give him that. Okay. But if you don't have what's the name them coming to him with that concept, you probably don't. Wait,
pay the bills. Shout out to our brother, Xbox Juice, man. My brother
Juice, man. Hey, get him some juice, man. You see these boys up in here, 3 versus 1, man. I'm finna chop all of them up.
Juice can hop in. You want a little smoke? But he said, shout out to the brother Juice. He said, your Phil did a good job turning the Xbox ship around. Now,
I gotta talk about Xbox Juice for a second. Post up. You know what's bad when Xbox Juice told me about this THQ shit. He's the one that was upset about it.
Look. I know a lot of people in the chat saying I'm damage controlling. I am not damage controlling. I'm just looking at this from a real world perspective. We don't know. Microsoft probably could have looked at that at Koch Media, and based on what they saw from the numbers, it probably wasn't right with them. Everything is not going to be a right purchase for them, especially we don't even know the direction Phil want to take the culture in regards to the Xbox. So we just can't say just because we got money that we can spend it. It don't work like that. Even in the streets, and if you hustling just because you got it, you're not fit to spend it. Most hustlers, if I see something that I can buy, the first thing I'm gonna check is the return on my investment over the long haul. Y'all thinking short term. We're talking about over the long haul. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to think what I'm picking up, what type of garbage and baggage that comes along with this purchase. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to think about
this is long term, bro. New IPs is long term.
Thank you, Brian.
What are you thinking, Brad?
I just want to say one last point, and then I'll hustle out.
Polish a piece of shit to make it look pretty.
Ain't nobody polishing. No piece of shit. You gotta. I'm just being real. I'm giving you the other side of the coin. We can sit over here and shit on them all the day, and I can be in agreement with y'all too. But I'm just giving you the flip side.
Pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Ripper Clash, shout out to my brother Ripper Clash. I haven't seen you in a while, good brother. For dropping that dollar hot and spicy.
Yeah, thanks for the 99-cent taco, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Now, real talk. Let me ask you a question, right? And I said the question. I want to be honest again. I'm not talking because if the 360 era, there were a lot of bosses during the 7th generation. That Mike, they had my man Peter Moore. They had Jay Allard at one point. You know what I mean? They had the other guy, the tall white guy. What's his name? I forgot his name. Oh, Jesus Christ. He was around the Connect era. Then Donnie D came. I forgot the guy's name. But you had a few bosses there, right? Back then. But I'm just saying, so Donnie D, shout out to my brother Ripper Clash again. He just dropped another $5. And I appreciate it, brother. He didn't ask a question, but if you got a question, ask it. He was there for $6. I mean, for 6 months, more or less, right? And Juices said that he did a good job at turning the ship around, right? Now, like I said, I'm gonna say this still. It was still today. Microsoft messaging has still been all over up and down. You know what I mean? And I always give you guys an example. It's not what you say; it's how you say it. You know what I mean? If my wife or anybody say anything, hey, Zaire, take the trash that you stinking punk motherfucker. I ain't taking nothing out. We all gonna choke to death in there. Maybe take the trash. It's not what you say; it's how you say it, right? And again, Microsoft messaging has been all up and down, right? Right. Yes, it is. I'm just saying under Phil. A lot of them, how you say, there has not been popular decisions. They came out this generation. Like he don't think this is the problem I have with Phil. He don't think it's healthy for gaming when one developer keeps stuff off another developer's platform. That's the problem with Phil. All right. You're not the Dolly goddamn llama. Your concern and your concern is only to us and what we get over here, especially when your competition again is doing those things and their fan bases are happy with. Your job is to take care of us here, take care of home first. Okay, there's a problem. It's about as far as being a boss. Real talk. When you got the head of the Xbox division, right, and they're out there talking about they can't wait to go home and play the Breath of the Wild and stream it on Mixer, and I understand they do have a streamer. I get it, but when I say that it's not reciprocated. You don't see your shit out there talking about, man, I can't wait to give me a chainsaw killing Gears of War.
Yo, I got you, Z. You keep saying Phil is trying to reboot because he just took over. The same shit happened with Nintendo, and that motherfucker's doing good. It's the lowest performing console, and it's beating the shit out of both the Xbox and the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
They got more exclusives than both Xbox and PS4 right now.
Look, y'all see
their head boss died. They literally had to reboot.
Hold on, let's cut this bullshit. Y'all see that Donnie D gave us a Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive, and Rise. Motherfuckers ain't even bad at shit.
What?
So if you want, motherfuckers ain't even bet. Y'all sitting up
It's
here
not more
talking
than
about. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all sitting up here talking about all these games that Donnie D gave us and all this stuff, and the Xbox fan base did not support those games. So if they didn't support them, was the Xbox fan base in alliance with what Donnie D brought to the table? Because the sales number says different.
Okay, say when we check out post. You know you just how you say you know you just fucked up, right? All right.
Exactly.
It's one of those games you named just now. Outsold Recall. Outsold fucking Zoo Tycoon. Outsold motherfucking Disney Rush. So what are you talking about? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? So we got to get the biggest knife in the drawer and cut the bullshit out now.
He even outsold free game that crummy ass Phantom Dust, and it was free. Get out of here, Post.
Hey yo,
come on, man.
Hey, Post, you my man. You know what? I'm gonna take Post off the hook right now, man.
No. I'm good.
We gotta get some smelling stuff.
I don't feel I'm losing right now. I'm just creating the other flip. I'm just giving the audience the other flip side of the coin here. You know what I'm saying? Look. In Phil's defense,
my man said Magic bought Zoo Tycoon. Oh shit!
Who developed Zoo Tycoon?
I don't know.
Who's okay? Who developed? Is that a second party game or third party game?
Oh wait, hold on.
Who cares?
Because if it's not first party, then it's not. Hold on. If it's not first party, it's not Phil. And if it's second party, it's not Phil. It's Shannon.
Bruh. It is Phil because it gets approved by Phil. Get out of here.
Facts.
Hey, Shannon, it goes through Shannon. She's the one who controls the second party. What is you talking about?
Learn your chain of command, bro.
Is Zoo Tycoon first party studio?
Hey, Post, Sunset Overdrive.
Answer my question. I know that's second party, but it still didn't sell though.
Rise wasn't first party either.
Quantum Break wasn't first party either.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
This is what I was trying to bring up earlier when Microsoft has no manpower to do these things.
Hey, Post, you mama, hey, mama, I done took my man. Hey, yo, I done took my man Post. I beat the shit out, took his pants off. My back, Post.
Hey, ain't nobody beat up over here.
Hey, man,
ain't nobody beat up over here. I'm just being objective. I'm creating a different side of the coin. We can shit on Phil all day. You know what I'm saying? We could blame him for everything.
Hey, how you say the fish rocks from the head back, right? It's real talk, right? And all jokes aside, we having fun here. And I can promise you, no bot will be hurt at the end of the show. Everything's all about basketball, right? It's my brother here, right? But we all agree to disagree, right? Well, we're gonna say this here, right? And I understand Phil is a good guy, he's a likable guy, right? But all I'm saying at the end of the day, and I've never, because even like I said, they go back to, and not to talk about the same thing again, what Phil gave was the X, everything under X. But again, I told you guys, with anything, that's just not a need. That wasn't Phil didn't come out with the X for the answer to the resolution stuff. No. That's not how these $1 trillion companies work. That was already on on the map to the road to success. That wasn't by chance; it was by design. You know what I mean? That both of these companies came out with the refreshes. That's how business goes. They don't do a knee jerk. It's not how it works like that, right? If you don't believe what I'm saying, and not to get too deep in it, the fact that Microsoft spent, I believe it was like 1.2 and some change $1 billion with AMD, that coupled with multiple SoC socks. You know what I mean? And I used to ask myself back then, how could Sony only spend $400 million? Get off the shelf parts and have a more powerful console than the original Xbox. But at that time, unbeknownst to any of us, that deal that they signed with AMD back in 2011 or something like that, or 2011, 12, that covered multiple SoCs. Okay, but that's neither here or there. But all I'm gonna say, maybe supposed to look like this. Would you agree, right? Would you agree with this? That some of them unfavorable decisions that came out this generation, more or less for the Xbox. And I'm gonna say one of them again at Play Anywhere. That wasn't, and I said this back then that they're trying to hang their hat on something that their core doesn't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Or the case
exactly.
I'm saying this. Based on what I read from the summary of this D.I.C.E. Summit speech.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than
I'm just saying. Over the last 4 years, even from 2014. Microsoft internally has been in flux. It might not have been obvious from the outside looking in, but this speech tells them that they wasn't in the right place to do the things culture-wise, to do the things or the things that Phil want to do moving forward, culture-wise. And he's on stage
Culture
admitting
wise,
that. I'm talking about culture-wise as far as internal studios, and things like that, that there wasn't right, that they weren't right. And the fact that he's saying that the company as a whole needed to be rebooted in terms of how they approach those things, is nothing wrong with that.
Hey, wait, hold on, Z. Post up. What does Phil want to do exactly? Because so far, what I've seen is he's introduced the whole Windows 10 bullshit with the whole play anywhere. Even you get your big games like Gears there day one.
Mm-hmm.
He's closed down a few studios. Maybe that wasn't his decision, but it has happened under his regime. And this is something you keep forgetting, Next Gen.
Yes.
You said, what has Phil brought you? And he brought you a pretty good, fantastic AAA game. And that's called Age of Empires 4, which is a PC exclusive. What does that tell you guys? Where does Phil
I look at it like this. Well, that was a rumor a while back.
That was a good one.
That was a rumor a while back. I don't know how much I'll be on Neo guy, but when Phil was on the Terry Myerson, a lot of things was getting cut. A lot of studios got cut. A lot of development was getting cut. And that's why we was getting a lack of games. So there was a rumor that from a gaming perspective, Microsoft was more so downsizing in terms of games and development, more so than putting the money there to invest. That's why you got things like Scalebound being cut. That's why you got they threw away a lot of studios that they had. They even let some of the studios go. Some of the studios that they let go, they even let them retain some of the IPs that they had. Under this, since Phil has taken over, he's not only head of Xbox but Windows gaming, PC gaming. He's over gaming as a whole from Microsoft. So from that perspective, he has to cater to both audience. Now, how he goes about doing that may be questionable to certain gamers, being that a lot of Xbox games are accessible on PC, but not a lot of PC games are accessible on Xbox. I do think he needs to make a change there. I think if the exclusive on the console is going to be going to PC, I think that we need to get some return on that as far as a lot of the software that's on PC. I think it needs to be a shared experience. I think that at some point the Xbox needs to be able to do both, get access to PC gaming as well as console exclusives. So I do agree with that, but he has to cater to both. And I think at some point, Age of Empire is going to be on the Xbox as well, somewhere down the line. Now, whether gamers want that is questionable.
I want to say this, I want to say this one thing here, right? And maybe you can see where I'm going. Like I said, you said that I understand, why you say. First of all, this is Microsoft's third outing. All right, they're not their first. This is their third generation, right? People swap balls all the time. Shit, Nintendo, like Brian said, Nintendo lost their balls. He died. You know what I mean, mid-stroke. Pause. You know what I mean? And when you talk about far, I don't. And again, I said this before in the past. I don't understand how you go from the 360, right? Where everything you learn to stride, how you say the OG Xbox that came out in 2001, that was a learning curve. Even the deals, the deals they did with Nvidia, how they lost, why they lost money on that generation, because the original Xbox wasn't meant to be sold under $300. Think about it, had a hard drive, and they didn't own the GPU. In the console, the video still wanted their money, whether they cut the shit down to $200. Because remember when Halo came out and whatever. I'm sorry, the Halo 2, it started to pick up as a little steam, a little tracks. The Xbox will start selling. Actually, won a couple MPDs, like 1 or 2. Nintendo, Sony already automatically cut the price of the PS2 down to $200, so Microsoft had to follow suit. Neither here nor there. I'm not going to talk about anybody's money, right? And even like it's the way that they do business, how they go by picking their parts, they learned a lot. I mean, I understand that, right? But again, it's not like they bought Phil from the outside. Phil has already been there within the workings, within the Microsoft ecosystem. You know what I mean? Did I hear that term? When Myerson was a bitch, absolutely. It comes down to the point where you say, you know what I mean? If you want this thing here to succeed, that's why I go back again. I was the guys. I hear some things. I know those people about, you know what I mean, how they're going to ride this thing out. If they came down to this, why are we going to spend $40 million to Activision to get, this time sensitive DLC where we can not pay them nothing for the marketing and still get a cut of the money? That's what everything, like I said, that's why I said sometimes Microsoft is too good at the business, and then sometimes it hurts us as the gamers. And this is why they look at it, a lot of these third party. Why are we going to go out and spend which such and such on a marketing deal where we don't have to spend the market shit like Sony market? Everybody know by now that the goddamn game is coming to our platform, and most likely 9 out of 10, Sony's game is going to run better now because it's a more capable console. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We know all this stuff, right? That's been well heavily documented. Okay, but if this generation was to stop today or tomorrow, right? The Xbox One. What is, and again, I've always said this too. Again, maybe Post, you may agree that during the original Xbox, Microsoft old shit game was Halo. During the 360, Microsoft's old shit game was Gears. It's going on 2000. Well, it's 2018.
Yeah. And
What
I
is
agree
it?
with you there.
Okay,
I agree with you
what I'm
there.
saying? So
I
if
agree
the-
with you
if
there.
the
We've
shit
always been in compliance with
So
that.
what I'm saying, if the generation had to stop right now today, and I understand through all this business, you put your big boy jaws on, and like I said, it's not like they brought
Mhm.
Phil from outside somewhere else. He's already been there within the. That's why he got the job so quick. He already knew how to work everything. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, if someone called us, Phil's down there running the show. So if things close right now, what do you have to say or to contribute to Phil Spencer's legacy of him being the boss of the Xbox? Like you know what I mean? Like
The memory of the
Look.
one game everybody was looking forward to that
Look.
got canceled, Scalebound.
Look, I do.
And
Look,
you brought that up a while ago, and the real reason it was lost was because Shannon Loftus did not do her job that she was positioned for.
I can probably agree with
look,
this too.
I
No
look.
problem,
We,
boss.
we can sit up here. And look, I look. This way, I do agree. In the 2000s, from the OG Xbox to the 360, even with Donnie Matches, I think he carried over that atmosphere from the OG Xbox, meaning that the mindset of that is going to be Xbox or nothing and fuck all the competition. I do think at Phil has a tendency to be more kumbaya. Let's share everything. Let's come together right now.
There's the problem.
You know what I'm saying? And I do think that can hurt the base. But as far as the THQ, I think Microsoft has enough filler IPs that they haven't touched yet to fill than to go spend $150 million on IPs that might be in the same positions as the IPs they already have. They have the Banjo Kazooies. They have the Mechasalt, which can be a AAA title. Mechasalt is a title that can be up there with the Gears. You have
Absolutely.
Okay.
you have the what's the game with the frogs?
Look how long everybody has been asking for this.
Yeah, I'm saying you have they have Battletoads. They have access to so many IPs right now that's dormant that can become filler.
Okay.
That they can invest in that instead of going to buy an additional 15 more IPs that might become dormant, just like the ones they already have access.
You're beating a dead horse, Bray.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly what we've been asking for years now.
I'm just saying though, if they're not doing nothing, I'm just saying they have IPs that's dormant that can become filler or AAA content, and you're asking them to go purchase another 15 titles that might become dormant as the ones they already have.
Check it out, Post. So we can put the show to bed with this one right here, right? That at the end of the day, right? And this comes back to what I'm saying. You have these huge studios in 343. You have these huge studios in the coalition. You know what I mean? Turn 10. You know what I mean? And again, like we said before, post report money, they took 10 people, right? From the main team of the Uncharted team and started them working on The Last of Us, which can probably arguably be said that it's a bigger game than Uncharted. You know what I mean? It's sold very well. Outsold all the other charges on the PlayStation 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them. You know what I mean? So with that being said, again, and like what Neither was saying, they also bought a studio. If I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean, here's look. I'll give you an example, right? And again, I get everybody's opinion, and we can close the show with this, right? By the time we hear that Obsidian or whoever's closing down or Visceral Games, they already know about it on the inside, right? Before it gets made public, okay? So, and again, this has been Microsoft's, to me, in my opinion, their problem this generation, that they're not, how you say, proactive. They always on the second to go. You know what I mean? Like they don't react first. You know what I mean? If you know that you're having a problem or you know the checkbook is open, you're looking to acquire studios. Like go out there and get a Sibian. You know what I mean? Go out there and get
Okay,
games.
yeah, I can agree with that. I think at some point Playground games will get purchased. I think the new studio that they just opened for Fable, I think Microsoft had hands in getting that done and getting that purchase. So they're the ball is starting to roll. We just don't know which direction it's going to roll in. And I say before we jump the gun, because we could jump the gun now and say what field done, and then E3 come around and just possibly we get all the announcements of titles and things that we wanted. Then motherfuckers be flipping the switch. Oh, Phil, that's what I'm talking about, Phil. You go, Phil. That's the best E3 ever, Phil. He finally did this and finally did that. So I'm saying before we jump the gun, let's see which direction this ball is rolling in. And then from there, we can say, okay, well, you know, Phil is still on bullshit. I don't like the way this is going. I'm going to go buy me a PS4.
I guess.
Okay,
so,
and to
but-
answer your question, Posto,
Thank you, Brian.
to why he should have bought THQ was literally because Phil Spencer himself came out his mouth and said, I agree, we do need more IPs and studios. We are working on acquiring them. Why didn't you acquire them? And that would have been the cheapest one they could have acquired.
First of all,
fact.
THQ wasn't for sale. So that just killed everything you just said. It was Koch Media. Okay, we did understand. He did say that they need more IPs and more studios, but they never told you. That don't mean they're just gonna go out and just greet and purchase up anything that comes in front of them, bro. That's not how it works.
That was the same company that made their game Saints Row, correct?
Saints Row is a multi-platform game.
It started out as an exclusive, though, correct?
Yeah,
It was timed though.
The first one, I don't think the first one ever came out to the PS3. But either, Neither, what you had to say to that? Neither,
No.
you about to say something? Neither,
Oh yeah.
What's it, Neither?
Shoot. I'm blanking here. You guys go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
3 versus 1 today. 3 versus 1 and post up holes his own. Let's talk about it.
Okay,
Pal, let's talk about it in the chat.
Yo, post up. How many
Dolls.
E3s are we going to give Mr. Phil Spencer to see where the ball is rolling? This is a problem we have.
Okay.
We always give this man
You
multiple
haven't seen it for 4 years.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. So how many times we're gonna give Phil Spencer a chance? Let me tell you something. Microsoft has been through changes. Sony has been through changes.
They all have.
They all have been through changes. At this point, everything now from here on out, since he's over gaming as a whole, as a Microsoft, falls on Phil. In the past, it wasn't like that. Everything from here on out falls on Phil. So any decisions, any purchases, if we're not seeing what we want, I'm gonna be the first one to say, Z, put up a show. We finna shoot shots at Phil because this is not the shit we want. Everything from here on out falls on him, man. It's no excuse from here on out. In the past, it's questionable because he wasn't in the position that he's in now. He's probably got a bigger budget now than he ever had in the past. You feel me? Sitting next to the man. So from here on out, everything falls on him. That way, go ahead.
I got a question. You just made it clear since he's the top head honcho, everything falls on him. Since he got that position, Halo Wars 2 was out too. Why is the Age of Empires got more marketing and more talk about and everything from everybody than Halo Wars 2?
Well, we could not just go on Halo Wars 2. It's been a lot of games that's the market. The whole marketing over the last 3 or 4 years has been questionable. It hasn't been on the scale that it was in the 360 days. That's not just with Halo Wars 2. That's with multiple games that and this is what I'm saying. This is at some point this is more than just a field thing. And that's why I'm trying to draw the line. And as Z said we're gonna grab the biggest knife out the jaw, cut the bullshit, and draw the line.
Okay. I brought it up because this is how chain of command works, and I know chain of command because military. The head boss, the book always falls on him because he's the head honcho, the last word, the final say. He's everything. So if you screwing up, anybody under you screwing up, and you ain't checking and making sure shit's going right, it's your fault.
Exactly. And now he's that boss. That it can become his fault. Prior to that, he wasn't that boss if he was answering to another boss. Only person Phil answered to now is Nadella.
Okay.
That's the only person he answered to now. That's why I'm saying what y'all putting on him now, in the near future, we can blame him for that. But in the past, prior to what went on through the transitions and the different bosses and the moving of the different divisions, it was a lot of shit going on that wasn't right compared to what they was doing in the 360 generation. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that. The marketing was terrible. It's been terrible for a lot of games.
I want to say this here. First of all, we got shout out to the 183 people, 20 people rocking out with us at the spur in the moment. We're gonna have a dope show tonight at the most. Like I said, as you guys come in, like I said, YouTube, I'm gonna do another show. They're trying to bury you, brother. Like I said, you come in, hit the like button, man. They ain't feeling the live streams from your boy. They trying to redirect all traffic. Like I said, if you come in, like I said, hit the like button. Please, least you can do. And shout out to my man, the Ripper, and my brother Xbox Juice, who dropped a few dollars in the super chat. I got, I appreciate that. Now, listen, I'm actually reading some of the comments here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Free to Be Me. You gotta come on air with me one day. I've been rocking out with this dude forever, man. My man, Mr. Free to Be Me. You talking about the illest gaming setup ever? Yeah, I'm gonna make you an admin right now in the chat. You'll post the link to your setup, your back cave. That shit crazy. That nigga got about 9 goddamn TVs, one. That shit crazy. But check it out though, right? And I hear what you're saying, Post, right? And again, and I'm just like I said, as an Xbox guy, right? Real talk. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing. You know me. I don't have a problem biting my tongue with being honest, and like I said, me voicing my opinions or my concerns. When you see a person such as myself, even you, and you guys, I know that we're called true Xbox guys fans. And I mean, we're not someone quote unquote claiming to be neutral. You know what I mean? And just do nothing but hate and slander. You know what I mean? On the Xbox. So what's voice a concern or opinion, that it's coming from a valid point. You know what I mean? 2017, we cannot forget this, right? 2017, it's probably the worst year as far as content wise, exclusive. You know what I mean? That I've ever, as me being an Xbox fan. And this is dating back to 2001. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they came out in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
That fire.
Yeah, and
Buffy the Vampire. If you slept on that game, that game was
about 16 years old, and it was better than every release that came out for exclusive wise that came out for the Xbox this year. You know what I mean?
What? I can't I can agree with that. Yeah, Buffy. I will put Buffy the Vampire Slayer over Recore. That game was dope.
You know what? Honestly, the original, the OG Xbox had a lot of exclusive IPs that rips every game that come out this year for the Xbox.
I get it, but I'm just being, I'm just stating. You know what I mean? We can also be arguably said the last AAA game that released for the Xbox AAA. I'm not talking about the niche title. The last AAA game that really came out from the Xbox platform might have been Gears of War 4. Literally, you know what I mean? Came out, between 2016 2017. You know what I mean? Now, 27, and again, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna close the show with this, right? Even going to E3, right? And this is the biggest problem that I have with Microsoft E3. Now, listen, a lot of the games, just about the games that we're getting this year for the Xbox, was supposed to come out last year in 2016. Sea of Thieves, I can't wait for State of Decay 2. All that was supposed to come out last year, right? So then last year wouldn't have been so bad, but you know what I mean? But they didn't have anything more or less for this was Microsoft said, you know what? We're not gonna have anything for 2018, but guess what? We're gonna have the most powerful console. We're gonna have the X, we're gonna ride that out, right? And the games that we're getting for 17, we're gonna push us back to 18, right? So what I heard, more or less. Not saying those exact words, but that was the case in a lot of other situations, right? and even with E3, right? And this is real talk. And I'm gonna go back again, right? Because when and again, he say sometimes I hate to say that the motherfuckers don't judge me by the content of my character, maybe by the color of my skin, right? I've been saying this for a while that uh indie titles don't belong on the big stage. Well, so
They
what you
don't.
guys they don't belong, or they don't show well. They don't belong on the. Someone sent me a link. Um, they don't belong on the big stage. And what it came out to me, what was said to me was, well, if Sony does, what's going to happen if Microsoft don't show them? They're going to get killed in the media, and this is the problem. I said they're already talking shit about them. Well, Sony's going to come out there. Who gives a fuck about what Sony? And that's what I'm talking about. Pay attention to your core and what we want and what we like. You know what I mean? What got you to where you are. You know what I mean? Then what happened? A3 came out 2016. Sony didn't show not one goddamn indie. You understand what I'm saying? Great show. You know what I mean? I'm a huge God of War fan. And even in the issue to me leading into Microsoft's E3, I know that I'm going to see Forza Horizon 4. I know that's going to be there. I know I'm going to see Crackdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if State of Decay is coming out. I don't know. I don't know if we have released it or anything, but if it doesn't come out between now and then, I know I'm going to see that there on the stage. I know I'm going to see Ori and the Blind Forest too. And that is the issue that we know everything more or less, more just about that's going to be shown from Microsoft. You know what I mean? Before the E3 season, so I'm not as shocked. I'm not as amazing. And again, they have. I must say this. This is detrimental to me. Let me say this last thing. To me, for Microsoft, if they want to succeed, or I don't. And again, here's the thing. I don't even think it's a winning thing about them anymore. Microsoft. It's always. It's don't get me wrong. It's always about the dollar, regardless of anything. But they don't. As long as they're making, the most, selling their software, they don't give a. But check it out, right? At the end of the day, they need to do what they need to go back to what made them hot. All that play anywhere shit, get rid of it. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on PC guys or whatever the case may be, but you still are in the business. Hear me out. You still are in the business to sell hardware. And you kind of, just think about this, you're kind of lessening the value of your hardware, because why would that game or whoever buy that set piece of hardware where they can get a better version of that set game running not even on your platform, all right? See what you want about Nintendo. See what you want about Sony, right? And I don't like 98.9% of the games. I damn don't care for the Nintendo stuff, but for Sony, I like the AAA games, the God of Wars, the Spider-Man, the No Days Gone. I'm on all that appeals to me, even like the art style. What's the Last of Us 2? I love the gritty stuff. And Sony got smashed in the media. Sony came out there and said this is a game made for adults, Boom, drop the mic, right? Microsoft, Phil, whoever, they need to get that there. Whether you agree with Donnie D or not, Donnie D was that there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is a business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? All that you don't agree with. Let me tell you something. This is the last thing. I'm sorry, this last thing. You know how many times that I got said to me on my Xbox, I can cut my Xbox, thanks to you, next gen, I got this game, I got that. This is me out there, and I don't get paid the dollar. It's called free advertisement. You know what I mean? And I've always said this to you guys. And Post, when I first met you can be my right, you can be my contestant, right? I always told you guys, remember this Post? You'd be surprised who watches your channel. Something happened with Newt and them, whoever, whatever. This is real talk, right? Because never before you have developers. I'm gonna say this again, right? You have developers, whoever's, you know what I mean? Now they get to tune in to see what the average Joe Smo, not a paid actor, not someone that sends something, everyday Joe Smo thinks about their said product, right? Something happened on someone else's live stream. A certain, I'm so true. A certain exec, an exec from EA reached out to me. I'm not lying, right? And asked, hey, what's up with your man? Such and such, such and such. I'm paraphrasing here, right? And posted my line. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I always say you'd be surprised who watches your stuff, right? So before you have that's why you have Michael Patrick come out and make these outlandish predictions or whatever to keep his name out there in the media. That's sometimes like this shit too far left. But before Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo will pay these firms millions of dollars to go around and collecting data, now they can tune in and see what the average guy thinks about their said product, right? And doesn't cost them a dime. So all this month, he doesn't like it's all this is free promotion. I'm gonna wrap it up for you, right? So even with that, I mean, he's not being realistic or being real. You know what I mean? And again, Bill, it's not my parting words, my parting shot. It's not your job. Again, it's not your job because no one's losing any sleep over this console. People are going to pop shit regardless, okay? All I'm saying, I understand that GDC is not like an E3 or whatever the fuck the case may be. I understand that, right? But you have a stage for yourself. You got new hardware. You know what I mean? They could have showed something or something. That's all that I'm saying. Because here you had Sony didn't go to Gamescom. They had Paris Games Week, and they had their goddamn Sony show. You know what I mean? Whether you like those games or not, it was good for their fans and their fan base. And to me, like I said, Microsoft just has done. When you had them have a better showing, a better outing for the Age of Empire, which was a PC. This is before Phil got this promotion, being the head of PC games or whatever the hell the case may be. Had a better showing for a Windows 10 exclusive than you did for any of your goddamn games in any of your console. And that is the problem. So I don't know whose job that is to get those stuff like that. I said to change things around. But until that changes, Post, it's always going to be the same because they just don't fucking get it. They're out of touch and not in sync on what their core and the cows, what we want and what we care. The fact that they were hanging damn since last thing. They were hanging a hat on that plate anywhere shit. And I said back then 2.5 years ago, that's not going to sell. And I got cursed out and said, I'm bugging. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I hate to say question, like I said, some of my integrity or how you say the concept about the color of my skin. I said because what the average Joe Smo don't care about none of that shit. When Sony goes to the E3, PlayStation Live E3, you don't see PlayStation 4 E3 and the goddamn Xperia TV. No, it's about the game. Like man, fuck it, man. I just the post so that changed, but it's not going to change. Post, it's not.
Here's one for you, Post. Phil's the end all be all for Xbox now, right? Here Insomniac Games is waiting to make a sequel to Sunset Overdrive. Why ain't Phil doing something, bruh? And it was a good game. And everybody's been saying, hey, Phil, jump on it. We want it. And here we are, still not working on it.
Well, just because you haven't heard any announcements in regards to that game doesn't mean Phil. Now, whether that game comes to fruition or not, we won't know. If it comes to E3 or some, or even before then, if it comes to the game developer conference, because we still got that coming up. If it comes to that where it's not being announced, right now, Insomniac is working on Spider-Man. So anything in regards to Sunset Overdrive 2 is not gonna come to fruition probably to after they're done with that.
It don't matter.
So we cannot say.
We are ready to go.
We have to stop thinking
on it.
I'm just saying. Right now, their hands is on Spider-Man, which is a big game for Sony, right? But anything in regards to Sunset Overdrive or Sunset Overdrive 2, even a Sunset Overdrive getting the Xbox One X in hands, you're probably not going to hear none of that until after they're done with Spider-Man. We cannot necessarily say that Phil hasn't reached out to him about Sunset Overdrive.
Spider-Man's in right now, brother.
All right, well,
in policy stage right now.
All right, listen. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna take 2-3 questions from the chat. We're gonna get the hell about it right now. Other than Zink, he's a huge Xbox guy, right? He said Forza 7 was in NPD top 10. That's what consumers wanted.
He wasn't supposed to be selling Xbox at a D.I.C.E summit. How is he selling Xbox to other executives? It wasn't a fan event. It was an event for executives. Okay. That's why I'm talking about the chat. He on there talking about Nintendo. He was using those games as an example, and you want him to use games like Last of Us and Uncharted, things like that, because that's the type of games that we've been asking for on the Xbox, and he was using those games as an example. And he's saying that's the one of the reasons why he wants to change or is changing the diversity in the culture at Microsoft to produce those type of games that have a real world effect on what we deal on a daily basis. Like, I don't understand why people think he's supposed to sell an Xbox to executives.
No. What I'm saying, listen, the fact that this thing was televised for the public, us regular Joe Smo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was something like what I'm saying. A little satire, a little tongue in cheek on my part. But what I'm saying is, then again, even that, what I'm saying, Post, he's not even being realistic or honest with himself. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? The fact that you think, with the cons, that's not what Post. Come on, bro. If anything, that's free promotion. You understand what I'm saying? It's bro. Listen, you grew up in the school and you go out there on the playground. I remember when Mike Tyson Punch Out came out and Sega had Rocky Balboa, and I was going back and forth with my best friend at the time, Preston Peterson. He had that record game. That Rocky game was hot for the Sega Master System back in the day, and I had Mike Tyson Punch Out. You know what I'm saying? That is free advertising. When you get people talking about that's passionate about your said product, and you don't have to give them a dime. So I don't know what the hell he talking about. If my AVR meter was hooked up right now, I will go down my list of messages right now, and you will see my this little ass channel. Thanks to you, next Jim. Oh, I didn't know about this. I didn't know. Every time I boot up my camera, whether it's you, Neethles Brand, and you talk about something pro, whether Xbox, that is free advertisement for them. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. That's not, nigga. That's not the should be the play of your woes. Some goddamn console war. But here's the thing: what I'm saying, Post. But he's the only one out there doing it. You don't see your shit in them out there talking about that shit, or with this nigga changing the culture. You don't see Resident out there talking about that shit.
Nope.
But my thing is like, who died and make like, what are you like doing? Focus on us here. That's all, man. All that other shit, like, come on, man. Like, goddamn, we fight racism another day. Can we get some games with this motherfucker? Can we get some games? Can we get some mature adult games? Like, I'm just sick of even the art style. Like, come on, give me something, please. You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this, what's this?
Look, I want to close. I want closing remarks. Look,
nigga,
my closing remarks is this. Look, I was just here to provide another flip side of the coin. Everything Microsoft has done over the last 4 years, I am not in compliance with. They have done some terrible, terrible things. And there's some things I'm not gonna you can't damage control. There's some things that you can't, you can't shine a turd on a lot of the shit that they have done. But there's some good things out of this too. You know what I'm saying? They went through a bogus situation, and it's forcing them to change their culture and change the way they do things. And so from here on out, what we're gonna expect is still a question. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tonight's gonna be a great show.
We got you, Brian, up tonight. Juice said, "Man, maybe the culture changed." Hey, Juice, I want you to go sit your lazy ass. Sit down somewhere, Juice. But listen, if you guys enjoyed the show, like I said, man, hit the like button. I got 100 likes.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, I got over 200. Listen, let's fuck this. Let me get 50 more likes right now. I got a code right now that Mafia 3 I'm gonna drop in the chat, man. Look out for your brother, man. Let me get 50 more likes right now. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a little fun, man. Just 50 more. We're gonna drop it right smooth. And then, shout out to Gabriel Ortiz, Jay Farrell, Jump Reality Check. He's a Nintendo weirdo. My man Berserker 00, man. Shout out to you guys that rock, they dropped a few dollars in the super chat. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to all 200 plus people that's tuning in right now, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a spur of the moment
podcast. We're gonna do Beast 5. I'm sorry, Beast 5. We're gonna do multiplayer at 8:30 tonight. And we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna pick up, that's all about giving out L's. But
it's gonna be a crazy show tonight. I can't wait to hear other people's opinions.
Also gonna get some more L's.
The D.I.C.E summon as a state, like the state of the industry thing, but I gave y'all 3 L's on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? I was boxing. Y'all had me against the ropes a few times.
And knocked you out like 8 times.
Bro, you came in getting knocked out, bro.
Hey, Garrett,
I came in and knocked you out with 1 punch. Get out of here, bro.
Hey, Garrett, sit your weirdo ass down. Try to post some down. Nigga, no, you ain't fooling me, nothing, nigga. You ain't fooling me, nothing, nigga.
Hey, y'all do want to tune in to multiplayer tonight. Y'all, if y'all thought this was a great show, wait till you get other people's opinion on this. It's gonna be crazy.
Hey, man. Shout out to Post Up, bro. He fought 3 people at once and he held his own. I'll give him that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Only not allowed him, man. You can't get nobody want his hair on the platter, man.
I came in, caught a show in the middle of it, and I came in and knocked them out.
I know you did, bro. He ain't want no smoke. But nah, thank you for rocking out with us today, baby. Like I said, I'm back, man. I got a new camera too. I got a new 4K camera. Listen, this Friday. Listen, before we go, this Friday, this Saturday rather, we have a match in Ghost Recon. We going against the GRG or Intermediate. Anyway, we're gonna play because we be whooping ass and gears. But like I said, we're still gonna stream Friday. Even we have to do it amongst ourselves. Just play. That's how we play anyway, and just do a couple player matches. But Saturday we are going against the
Ghost Recon, right?
Ghost Recon.
Yeah,
Get it
Ghost
right.
Recon.
Listen, if you guys could join, come out on the Discord. We got our own Discord. It's jumping. That Discord. I guess I'm gonna leave the link to the Discord and everything in there right now. You know what I mean? Also, too, if you're interested in rocking out and coming on the shows, sign up for the Patreon. We got a new member this time of the day. You know what I mean? Help. But like I said, YouTube. I'm maybe switching this channel. They really got the boy in the head. Like they trying to put their foot in the back of my neck, man. But I keep growing. I keep moving. I keep grinding. You know what I mean? But we out of here. I'm gonna leave the links down below. Hold up. Let me go to the actual. Let me get the actual link. Here's the link. This is the link for the Discord. This is the link for the Hey, listen, if you got an iPhone, check it out, man. Last time. You want to rock out, support the Super Chat, you go to the link. But I'm gonna leave the link right now to the Discord, everything right now. Go sign up to the Discord, to the Facebook group. Bang, if you think you're a troll and you can troll like no other, we just don't do the racism stuff. We don't talk about no kids.
Yo, hey, that Discord be popping with the conversations. Y'all might have to, if you got Discord and you join it. I don't know. You might want to turn your notification value down because you're gonna hit boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it goes down on that Discord. I'll say that.
I'm gonna start. I gotta start. Like I said, I'm back on my grind. We got also too. Look, check it out, man. I got sent some things for a couple partners. So you're gonna see some unboxings. I even got this back there. I didn't know what the hell that was. I got a stand and everything that me and me and Matt is working on. I got sent a stand. So what is a stand? Charges your controller. Do a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be up this week. I'm gonna put a little fancy production behind that. Like I said, we out here working, man. By the summer, man. It's gonna be broadband bullies in effect. We're taking over everything. We ain't turning down nothing but our cows. Listen, if you want to game with us on Fridays, come join up with us and rock out with us, man.
Yes.
We just don't play gears. We play everything. Monster Hunter. We got something for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, here's the link right now.
Gamertag post up. Next gen Gamertag is Zaire, ZAIRE. Neethles Wish her Gamertag.
It's also Neethles.
Yeah,
Neethles.
We call them Neethles. That's what we call them. And Brian, what's your Gamertag?
Devil Dog 2684.
There you go.
Devil Dog. Send us friends requests. I know a lot of people in the chat have some me friends requests. I have played Gears and other games with a lot of people from the chat. So keep it up, man. Keep sending them friends requests, man. Game with us on Fridays. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, all right. Here's the link again for the Discord. Thank you guys. Thank you. Sign up right now for the Discord, man. Rock, I'm talking. You want to talk to me in person? Yeah, man.
Do the damn thing.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people from the chat who be joining the party, and they come straight in on podcast mode.
Yeah,
what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? Especially Parker, every time he joins.